The People's Court today at 4:30.
A man named Norman, he's the one who managed to escape. An agent named North, who was killed outright. Another agent named Norwood, who was critically injured, presumably in a car crash.
Honey, this is terrible.
Yes, it is. 3 U.S. agents whose identities have been concealed for years suddenly exposed. One of them undoubtedly murdered. I think you can see it's hardly a coincidence.
No, how could it be? I mean, the name's a similarity. Norman, North, Norwood.
Exposure and death in alphabetical order.
So is this why you think there might be some connection to the phone book?
According to Cameron, the list of agents can be called up several ways. Geographically, alphabetically. This was obviously the latter.
Well, honey, wait a minute now. Do you think it might be too late? Do you think that the book has been, what's the word you used?
Compromised?
Yeah.
No, the CEA doesn't think so. They think that what happened was a result of a fraction of the book being revealed, a sample of its contents.
Oh, so whoever has the book sold that sample?
Possibly, but whether it was sold, stolen, or given away, what worries us is other names may follow from the same source.
I don't know where my escort ran off to, but, thank you. This will help.
Yes. So this is it. What are you doing?
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Coast Soap, the refreshing soap that brings you back to life. Coast Deodorant Soap, the eye-opener. And by All Vegetable Crisco. Crisco makes pie crust flaky.
Holiday time is real special to me. It always reminds me of when Lou and I first started out.
Oh,
We sure had a lot of love back then.
That's about all we had.
Well, honey, we always had good things to eat on holidays.
Well, that's true.
'Cause I get out my Crisco and I do some special baking. I love trying out new recipes. And every year, I find all kinds of new things to bake with all vegetable Crisco. Looky here, cranberry cherry pie. And talk about a flaky crust. Even my girls are finding great new Crisco recipes. Patsy made these chocolate bonbons. And Peggy made this wreath cake. And Loretta made these raspberry snowbars.
My good.
Honey, quit talking with your mouth full. There's a lot of great tasting holiday treats you and Crisco can make. There's two things that always makes a holiday special, and that's great tasting food and being with the ones you love. Right, girls?
Look for Loretta's Crisco recipes in your favorite woman's magazine.
Crisco will do you proud, every time.
After 4 hours of world-class tennis, you're exhausted. That's why the soap the Women's Tennis Association supplies its players is Coast Deodorant Soap. With its stimulating scent and lather that feels terrific, Coast refreshes and rejuvenates and picks you up in a way no other soap can. And if Coast can help after this, isn't it just what you need after a day with your kids? No tired is too tired for Coast.
Forgive me, Raven. My errand took longer than expected.
All right. But you are really lucky that this is so exquisite. And it really is. It's so nice to have real jewelry on my body again. I felt so tacky because I kept borrowing Geraldine's stuff, and then I tried to wear fakes, but I just couldn't do it.
There are certain women who shouldn't wear anything but precious minerals.
Well, I hope you don't think I'm a snob.
No, it's just that you're not the rhinestone type. For you, it's diamonds or nothing.
Well, I don't know. Rubies and emeralds sort of have their charms, too.
But what I'd like to see next is a diamond ring on that finger. But what I need from you now is a little encouragement.
Come on. You can't be asking me to marry you. You don't even know me yet.
I knew my first wife for 2 years before I put a ring on her finger. The marriage lasted less than a year. Doesn't that prove something?
Yes, that proves that you didn't know her well enough.
Or else I knew her too well. There was no mystery left in the relationship.
All right, then that proves that you're a bad marriage risk.
I won't deny that. But is your record any better?
How dare you change the subject?
But it is the subject. Marriage is usually a two-way proposition.
I love marriage. I've been married 3 times now. Doesn't that prove I'm optimistic?
You don't really like to talk about your past that much, do you, Raven?
Neither do you.
Well, I don't think my past is nearly as interesting as yours, especially when the subject is marriage.
All right. My first husband's name was Kevin, and he died in an automobile accident. And he was a very, very sweet man, and sometimes he used to do dances with samurai swords just for me.
And his last name was?
Jameson.
That was when you decided to call your son James.
How did you know that?
People like to talk about you, Raven. They love to talk about you. You're a favorite topic of conversation in Monticello.
I can't believe somebody told you I had a baby.
But what's wrong with having a baby? Of course, if you want to talk about it, we don't have to.
No, it's all right. I mean, I can talk about it. I'm sure Jamie is very happy. He lives with his father, who is Logan Swift, who was the ex-district attorney of Monticello, and Jamie moved with him to the East Coast, and I really haven't heard too much from them in the past 2 years, but I guess that's for the better.
Doesn't sound as if Logan was the ideal husband either.
No, he certainly was not. It was like being married to the Constitution of the United States.
Most people think the Constitution is an admirable document.
Would you like to be married to a document? Logan was the most self-righteous man I have ever met. He was inhuman. I mean, to worry constantly about what's right and wrong.
I don't disagree with you. I've never given it more than a minute's thought.
I knew I liked you. Cheers. I think somebody ought to live their life, not just think about it.
I can see that about you, Raven. I can see that you're not easily discouraged. After 2 disappointing marriages, you're quite prepared to try again.
Oh, sure. I think marriage is great if you've got the right husband.
Did you think Jefferson Brown was right?
No. I thought Schuyler Whitney was right. You see, I didn't know that Jefferson Brown was pretending to be Schuyler Whitney until after my honeymoon, and believe me, it was one of the shocks of my life.
And now that we have another Sky Whitney, tell me, how do you think you feel about him?
Schuyler Whitney means absolutely nothing to me.
You know, it's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
What are you doing here?
Reading the newspaper. What does it look like?
I thought you were out with Mr. Whitney.
No, he's out. I'm in. He decided to drive himself tonight.
He shouldn't be anywhere tonight, to say nothing of behind the wheel of a car. He just got out of his sick bed.
Well, he's a big boy. He can go wherever he likes. And, you know, I let him go wherever he likes, because he's the boss. It's a nice, neat relationship.
Did he say where he was going?
Nope, he didn't say. He just got in the car and took off.
It's raining like hell. Sky, how stupid can you be?
Spence, will you stop acting like a mother hen?
I mean, he's been running a temperature for 3 days. I've had to cancel important meetings for him. Now he's out joyriding on a rainy night.
Well, it just goes to prove one thing. It proves that you don't control Mr. Whitney just like I thought.
You do, huh?
Mm-hmm. You couldn't even get him to do a simple thing like get Nora out of this house.
Mr. Whitney told me that you discussed that subject with him, too. Is that right? Is that right, Gunther?
Yeah, I might have mentioned.
He told me you didn't have any particular reason for what you were doing. He figured the same as I did. You had some kind of lover's quarrel.
There is no particular reason. I just want Nora out of the house. She gets on my nerves, just like she gets on your nerves, right?
You're right. She does.
Yeah, except she's conned you, too, just like she's conned everybody else. I think that's the car. Hey, G. Spence, I think you better get some hot tea, put some honey in it, you know, bundle him up nice and warm, and tuck him into bed.
Shut up.
Yes, sir, Mr. Barney. Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Whitney. You're kind of wet out there, huh?
Gee, thanks for telling me, Spencer.
Well, I hope it was worth it.
What was?
Whatever it was that made you go out into that. Do I have to remind you that you were in a sick bed a couple of hours ago?
I had some business to take care of.
Meaning what?
I had some business to take care of. That's all.
Well, I'm your business manager, aren't I? Shouldn't I know?
This was personal. Gunther, were there any calls for me when I was out?
No, none that I'm aware of, Mr. Whitney.
Nobody. Male or female.
Gunther, get me a towel, would you please, and lay out a robe for me?
Right away, Mr. Whitney.
Hey, big buddy. Oh, you'll be scrubbing those mildew stains for hours. We got a tennis game.
I don't want to scrub, but I promised Emily.
Oh, you don't have to scrub, not with Tilex Instant Mildew Stain Remover.
I can't clean this without scrubbing.
Tilex can. It's powerful. Just spray it, then leave. Mildew stains begin to disappear on contact with no scrubbing.
The mildew stains are gone.
Tilex is powerful.
Yeah, now let's see that powerful serve.
Mildew stains gone in minutes. Scrubbing's gone forever. Use only as directed.
Yuck!
Hmm?
Better call the plumber.
Yeah, that's a bad clog. Better call the plumber.
Probably soap and hair.
Better call the plumber.
Not that plumber. Liquid Plumber is the plumber to call for clogs.
Watch how Liquid Plumber Drain Opener works on tough clogs like hair. Its heavy-duty power totally liquefies the clog. So for tough clogs like hair,
Better call the plumber.
better call Liquid Plumber.
Wow, look who's here.
Hello.
It's good of you to drop by and visit us. Where the hell have you been?
You missed me. How nice.
Yeah, well, you've been out of the house for almost 2 days.
One of those was my day off, remember?
Well, what about today?
I've been taking care of things, important things.
Like what?
I've just been to the offices of the Monticello Star. I would have preferred the news. They have better circulation, but you know how stuffy they are about this sort of thing.
Or things like what? What are you up to, Nora? I mean, what do you have to say that the newspaper would be so interested
How about
in?
a story? A crime story.
Huh?
The crime is attempted rape.
What are you, smoking? What, who did what to who?
I'm the victim.
What?
I'm just lucky it wasn't worse than it was. I mean, if his nurse hadn't changed her mind about leaving.
Wait, what nurse? What?
Doctors have nurses. Dr. Kavanaugh does, too. But she's my friend. I was lucky, and she saved me. And then she went to the police and convinced them that it really did happen. You know how cops are about rape cases. They never believe women. They think it's an act, and it's not true.
Now, wait a minute. Come, sit down here. Are you telling me that it was your own doctor, Dr. Kavanaugh?
That's right. Everyone thinks he's so wonderful. But nobody thinks he's more wonderful than he does himself, and that's why he thinks he can do whatever he wants to any woman that walks in his office.
Well, how about that? Isn't that some nerve? Hitting on one of his own patients, and a pregnant one at that?
I guess that was just an extra added attraction.
Yeah, well, you want to know something? I'm going to look this guy up right now and knock his block.
Wait. Let me take care of this, okay?
Well, you just said the cops wouldn't do anything.
I don't want the cops to do anything. I'm not pressing charges against Kavanaugh. This would go to the courts. There'd be publicity. My name would be dragged across the newspapers, and so would yours.
What do you mean, me?
Well, they're bound to mention that I'm pregnant and you're the father.
Yeah, you just stop right there, Nora. You just stop it. Now, there is trouble enough already, and if Mr. Whitney...
Oh, shut up! Now, don't worry about it. It's not going to go that far. It's only going to go far enough to make sure that he gets punished. I won't be happy until he loses his license to practice medicine.
But you've already said you've been to the newspapers.
You're not going to use my name or his. But don't worry, everyone in this town's going to know exactly who they're talking about.
I tell you, I don't like this. This is making me very nervous.
Making you very nervous? What do you think it did to me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, poor kid. Well, come on now. An experience like that, well, gee, you could have lost the baby.
But I didn't lose the baby. I still have him. He's fine. He's gonna love his mama and papa.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it.
He's gonna be real healthy and happy. Just like we're gonna be a happy couple, a happy married couple.
Entertaining around the holidays can be pretty serious business. You want everything just right, especially your glasses. That's why you need Cascade. Cascade leaves your glasses clear, shiny, virtually spotless. So when you get ready to entertain, remember Cascade and give your holiday table that Cascade sparkle.
Betsy smells funny.
That's baby smells. Smelly formula, sticky baby food.
Diapers.
That's ammonia. Baby laundry is a special problem. So instead of regular detergent, I use Dreft with enriched borax. It's specially made for baby laundry.
There's borax in grain after grain of Dreft. Dreft gets tough baby laundry clean and clean smelling.
Now she smells good.
Dreft cleans baby smells out of baby laundry.
Did you brush your teeth yet?
Math test tomorrow.
Can't help you with metrics.
I thought you knew everything.
Yeah, I do about some things, like cavities.
Oh.
I know you could get even fewer than I did.
How you know that?
Because I know Advanced Formula Crest has fluorostat.
So?
Compared to the crest I grew up on, it's even tougher.
My homework's tougher, too.
Quit worrying. You always make Mom and me real proud.
With Crest, your kids could have even fewer cavities than you did.
It couldn't be anyone else. You're still convinced that Ian Devereaux is the one who supplied the names to whoever it was who wanted them?
We're not absolutely sure, but Cameron thinks it's very likely.
And you think he got them from Jefferson Brown when he was at the clinic in Lucerne?
We have evidence that Devereaux was there, photographic evidence.
So it's logical to assume that Devereaux was trying to buy that phone book.
Cameron's theory is that he demanded a sample of the book as proof that it actually existed, to see if Brown could deliver.
Well, that sample has cost one life and maybe another.
Apparently, but it also confirmed what the CEA has believed all along, that that book is out there, menacing the safety of just a few agents, all of them.
Honey, it'll be an absolute disaster if it gets in the wrong hands.
It makes everything we're doing much more urgent.
So Ian Devereaux is still your #1 target.
Yes, but we can't follow it. We can't get to the man. We had the perfect opportunity, but it's gone. Raven turned us down for the 3rd time, and I don't think there's much point in trying again.
Honey, though, maybe if she finds out what happened...
Hello? Yes, Derek.
Mike, I hate to do this to you on a night like tonight, but you think you can meet me somewhere?
Why? What's happening?
It's been a shooting. A man's been killed. Mike, I think there's a connection between this murder and the case that we've been working so hard on.
Someone we know?
No, it's nobody we know, but I think the implications are going to be pretty clear-cut. I'm about to go down to the scene of the crime now. It's a small rooming house, 124 River Street. I was thinking maybe you could meet me there.
I'll be there, Derek.
I think you're going to find out this is pretty important. I'll see you there.
This may help warm you up. Here.
That looks like warm milk. Is that warm? I loathe warm milk.
I'll make it more palatable.
Thank you.
Well, would you like to talk about it?
Oh, what?
About where you were? Why you were so obliged to go out in this stormy weather?
I told you it was personal.
Why didn't you get Gunther to take you wherever this personal business was?
Because I wanted to drive myself. Do you have any aspirin down here? Thank you.
Well, if you won't tell me where you were, what should I tell Dr. Irving when he asks why you've had another relapse?
Don't mother me, Spencer. That's not what I hired you for.
Sky, you're my bread and butter. If you get carried off by pneumonia, where does that leave me?
just wanted to get out on my own. I wanted to be without Gunther. Sometimes that man can be too curious about what I'm doing and who I'm seeing. Come to think of it, you're worse than he is.
Because I'm supposed to be concerned, Sky, I thought that went along with the job. May I ask one question?
What?
Does this have something to do with Raven? Oh, am I right? Did you see her?
No, I didn't see her. She was out on a date with my dear friend, Ian.
That bugs you, doesn't it? More than you'll admit.
Yes, it bugs me! What do you think, Spencer? I'm immune from all sorts of emotions, huh?
I thought you might be immune to Raven Alexander. God knows you've had plenty of treatment, Sky.
I don't know what happened. I don't understand that. When I came back, and I met her, and I knew what she had done to me, I couldn't do anything but despise her.
And then?
And then I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't understand it. But despite the fact that I knew all about her and what she had done with Jeff, how they had conspired to steal my money and my name, I just couldn't hate her anymore.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
You're forgetting one thing, aren't you? The fact that you've fallen in love with Raven.
What about you, Spencer? What about you? Hasn't there ever been a woman who's gotten to you, or is that skin really made of armor plate?
It happened to me.
And?
I managed to get over it.
You didn't want to make it permanent?
Sky, we're talking about you. You and Raven.
Well, Raven wants to make it permanent, all right? That's what she's doing now. All these ploys, these games, seeing Ian. It's just a game to get me to propose marriage to her.
We've both known that from the beginning, Sky. Only now...
Yeah, now? Now what?
I suddenly realize who's won. Good night, sir.
Raven. I'd like very much to believe that there's no other man in your life.
Who says there is?
Well, some women aren't content with only one.
I'm not that kind of a woman. I like having only one man. Just has to be the right one.
Well, that's what I intend to be.
Clean up days, working days, rough and chapped your skin. Vaseline Intensive Care, smooth the healing right in.
Only one lotion gives hands the healing of intensive care. Vaseline Intensive Care Lotion.
Turns rough hands smooth.
Makes tight, chapped skin soft, so hands feel better and look better.
Vaseline Intensive Care, smooth the healing right in.
On General Hospital.
Holly, no matter how this thing turns out, I love you.
All I want is to be with you. Do you think you can arrange that?
Believe me, I'm trying.
General Hospital.
You think that'll come up?
Yeah, I think we got something here.
Derek? Mike, I'm sorry to drag out on a night like this, but I think you'll find out just why soon enough.
Has the body been removed?
No, it's in the morgue. I wanted to get an autopsy going right away.
Did you make a positive identification?
Well, I know he's using the name Pascal now, but look, I couldn't tell you how many aliases he's used. We found all these in a drawer. Passports, IDs, each one with a different name.
Looks like Mr. Pascal was a busy man.
Yeah, very busy, and from the evidence, busy with one crime in particular.
Espionage?
I don't see how there's any question about it. He's been traveling back and forth between here and Europe maybe 100 times.
He might have been smuggling narcotics.
No, Mike. Now, I found a couple of papers on his body. Here. Take a look at this one.
Oh, my God.
Not a very good photocopy, but you can make out those names.
Robert Norman, Gerald North, James L. Norwood.
Those are the 3 espionage agents who've had their clevers blown. The one of them killed while trying to escape.
So this Pascal is the man we were after, the one with a sample of the phone book?
Now, I don't know just what his cover is, but I've come up with something else.
Yes, you said there was a second piece of paper. What is it? Looks like an architectural drawing.
Yeah.
Kind of crude.
Well, but you can make out the bed, the vanity, the bathroom, the dressing area. But look right here, Mike. It's a wall safe behind that mirror.
Safe seems to be the feature of most interest, too. This must have been a burglary plan?
I don't know exactly what it was for, but, well, look at those streets. You know that intersection?
Yes, I know these streets.
There can only be one place, Mike.
It's the Whitney mansion.
Exactly. This is Skylar Whitney's bedroom.
When a woman wears black, she expects something to happen. When a woman wears my new Gloria Vanderbilt black denim jeans, it usually does. They've got the fit the jeans are famous for, the tailoring, the details, and more. Gloria Vanderbilt black denims have all the mystery and magic of black. Gloria Vanderbilt black denim jeans? It's a
Tonight, Jack finds himself engaged to a beautiful foreigner to whom he never proposed on Three's Company. Then the girls turn on and throw one of the wildest and zaniest office parties ever when word gets around they're being laid off on 9 to 5. After, Max inherits $1 million and the Harts inherit an extortion plot when their new servants hold them hostage on Heart to Heart. Join us tonight on ABC.
Tonight on ABC's World News Tonight, inside information is illegally making millions for some investors in the stock market. Who is abusing this information, and will they be prosecuted or continue to score big at the cost of other investors? ABC News, uniquely qualified to bring you the world.
I tried the Diamond Crystal Salt Cling test and proved that Diamond Crystal clings better than the other leading salts. Diamond Crystal, first in its class.
This is Stormfield. Coming up for you on the 5 o'clock Eyewitness News, a group of elderly people facing a crisis. Just before the holidays, they have to go out and find a new place to live. We'll have details for you, and we'll have this report.
Josh Levine here is one of 38 kids had a close call today in a bus crash. Is that right?
Yes.
Details coming up.
Also a preview of Christmas windows at Midtown stores and a report by Roseanne telling you about Italy 2 years after the disastrous earthquake.
Coca-Cola says it's the real thing, but Pepsi believes that when it comes to colas, the only real thing is taste. That's why the Pepsi Challenge has been asking thousands of people across the country to let their own taste decide. And the fact is, nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola. Great, refreshing taste. That's the real thing. So take the Pepsi Challenge and let your taste decide.